Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, and if you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put your notification bell to be notified when I upload new tutorials. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make an overlapping blouse. So I was supposed to use this fabric in showing you how to make the overlapping blouse, but because it's an urgent job, I couldn't make a tutorial on that. But in today's class, I'll be using the plain fabric to show you how I made this overlapping blouse. And I also think using the plain fabric for this tutorial is perfect since the markings will be very visible compared to the printed fabric. For this blouse design, I would advise you to use a chiffon fabric or a silk fabric. Just make sure that whatever fabric you are working with is light in weight and soft in texture. The name of the fabric I'm using is a silk fabric, and the amount of fabric I used is 1.5 yards. Since the overlapping was done in the front piece and also done in the back piece, this simply means that you need to fold the fabric into 4. Please take note that if you want the blouse to be longer than what I'm about to make right now, you need to use a fabric of 2 yards. But my client doesn't want a blouse to be as long as the one I did for the printed fabric. So I folded the fabric into 2. And if this fabric was about 2 yards, I would have folded it this way. But the way I folded it, I'm so sure it won't be enough, because if I divide the bust circumference by 2, it to be 18 inches. But yeah, I have 15 inches. This simply means that the way I folded it, it won't give me what I want since it's just 1.5 yards. So in this case, I'm just going to fold it this way. So the length of the top is 28 inches. But the truth is, this top is actually finer when it's longer. So if you can make yours 32 inches, it's fine. But mine, I'm doing it 28 inches because she said she doesn't want it too long. The next step is to place your tape on the fabric to get the midpoint of the folded fabric. The folded fabric is 24 inches. When I divided it by 2, I had 12 inches. So that is the reason why I'm marking 12 inches. So I'll be having 12 inches on the right side, and I'll be having 12 inches on the left side of the demarcation. And these are the essential measurements we'll be working with. We have the shoulder measurements, the bust circumference, the armhole circumference, and the length of the blouse. So this line represents the center front of the blouse and the center back of the blouse. So let's get started. The first step is to mark the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 14 inches divided by 2, that is 7 inches. So plus half inch sewing allowance, and that will be 7.5 inches. I placed my tape on the center line to mark 7.5 inches on both sides. To get the slant shoulder, you need to mark 1 inch below the 7.5 inches I marked. Now the next step is to mark the neck width. I'll place my tape on the center line to mark 3.5 inches on both sides. To connect the neck width to the shoulder points as shown. The next step is to mark the neck depth. I used 4 inches, but if you don't want the neck to be too high, you can reduce it to about 5 inches. The next step is to connect the neck width to the neck depth as shown. Now I'll use the French curve to make a round neckline. A armhole is 16 inches. I'll divide it by 2 and that will be 8 inches. The armhole of the blouse shouldn't be tight, so I'm just going to add 1 inch sewing allowance to the 8 inches and that will make it 9 inches. I marked 9 inches and I'm going to extend the line horizontally, and this line is going to be called the bust line. The next step is to extend the tip of the slant shoulder to the bust line as shown. Now I'll place the measuring tape on this line to mark the midpoint and to connect the midpoint to the bust line as shown, and this will form the armhole curve of the top. On the bust line, I'll place the bust circumference divided by 4. The bust circumference is 36 inches, and if I divide by 4, that will be 9 inches. So you can see that I placed 9 inches directly on the center line as shown. So I'm just going to mark 9 inches on this side and also mark 9 inches on the other side, making it 18 inches altogether. Now I'm going to add 1.5 inches sewing allowance to the side of the bust measurement. Obviously, you would notice that we are not using the waist circumference or the hip circumference measurements because it's a straight top design and it's also not a fitted top. For us to get the overlapping of this top, one side of the top has to be longer than the other. So I placed the straight ruler vertically on this side to extend the bust circumference to the full length of the blouse, and on this side I'll just extend the bust circumference line to about 4 inches. And just to make sure that this blouse doesn't expose her tummy, I'll be working with a waistline measurement. So our waistline measurement, which was taken from the shoulder to our waistline, is 14 inches. And since I don't want her tummy to be exposed, I'm going to add extra 3 inches to that 14 inches, and that will be 17 inches altogether. So this simply means that if your waistline is 16 inches, you should add extra 3 inches before marking this point. The next step is to connect these 2 points together. Alright, to get the elongated side, you should place your tape on the hem line to mark 3 inches from the center line of the other side as shown. I'm also going to extend the center waist point to 3 inches to connect the 2 points together. Now I'll use a curve ruler to make a simple curve in order to connect these points together. Alright, like I said earlier, this top comes out very beautiful when it's more elongated at this side. My client has a longer type of this top, but she decided to make a shorter one because she really likes the top. And I also think there's nothing wrong in having same style with different fabric prints. Or what do you think? Please kindly feel free to drop your suggestions in the comment section. The next step is to cut out. After cutting, you'll have this extra fabric at the sides. So this leftover fabric will be used in making the sleeve of the top. And since the fabric was folded into 4 before cutting, it is expected for us to have 4 pieces. So let's get started with the sewing of this blouse. So this cuff side will be sewn first by folding it half an inch and further folding it half an inch. I'll do the same for the second piece by folding the cuffed side half an inch and further folding it half an inch. Now I'll also do the same for the third piece. And I'll also repeat the same sewing process on the fourth piece. Now I've sewn the curved side of all 4 pieces. The next step is to place the front piece on each other to form the overlapping in front. Now you should pin them together. Take this to the sewing machine to secure the side so it doesn't shift while sewing. Now I'll also place the other 2 pieces on each other. So I've secured the sides together. The next step is to place the front piece on the back piece as shown. To secure the shoulder by ½ inch. After I secure the shoulders together, the next step is to secure the sides by 1 inch. After securing the sides, I'll turn the fabric to the right side of the fabric. The next step is to use a bias tape to secure the neckline. And after I secured the neckline, the next step is to secure the hem of the top by folding by ½ an inch and further folding it in by ½ an inch. Then you also secure the other hem of the top. The final step is to attach the sleeves to the armhole of the top. Alright guys, thanks for watching to the very end. You should give it a try, and if you are new to my channel, my name is Nancy. Kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new tutorials. Thank you.